Hello, so I recently developed my first 2 rolls of film pretty much on my own at the community lab that I'm a member of, and I filmed the process. So here you can see me pointing at the different chemicals: developer, bleach, fixer, and the stabilizer. And now we start with the developer. I'm going to pour it into the Patterson tank that is right next to the chemicals that are in their warm water bath. And I'm very much still learning, so I'm recording this in a way to see how I do things, where I can improve, and I'm also definitely would be very grateful if anyone wants to give me any tips or better ways of doing things in the comments.
Siri, set timer for 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
I'd really appreciate that. Actually, using Siri as a timer to keep to stay hands-free is one tip that I learned from the color developing workshop that I did. And here I'm starting to agitate the film, which is in a canister inside the Patterson tank. This is the C-41 development process, I believe, with the Bellini chemicals. So obviously the chemicals can be reused, so I'm kind of starting to prep for that with that funnel there. And I'm speeding this up because this is 3 minutes and 30 seconds of agitation that you saw there. And then I get ready to pour the developer back into its container because it's still good to go. I believe that the chemicals can last for up to 16 rolls. The only thing to bear in mind, after certain number of rolls, the development time increases slightly. So I believe the base time is 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and then this was maybe the 8th time that the chemicals had been used, so then it increased to 3 minutes and 30 seconds for this stage, and that's why I'm...
Siri, stop timer.
Now I'm switching over to the bleach. So the developer is what starts the chemical reaction that exposes the latent image that's on the film, and then the bleach is what stops it. So that's step 2. And I try to pour it so that there's just a little bit kind of coming out from that central spout.
Siri, start 45-second timer.
So for the bleach, it's 45 seconds to 1 minute, and I decided to go for the 45 seconds just in case I kind of went over slightly. And yeah, this is the second step of the process.
Siri, stop timer.
So yeah, now it's basically time to put the bleach back into its container. It's a bit nerve-wracking to do this on your own, pretty much for the first time, because you have to get the timings right, the steps in the right order, obviously. And I mean, these chemicals are shared by the lab, so I'm really hoping that I'm not messing them up. But yeah, there you go. That's the process that I'm following, and now we're moving on to the fixer. And this basically makes sure, as the name suggests, that the photosensitive chemicals stay where they're supposed to be on the film to actually make the image. So it's all about having the image stay in place at this point.
Siri, start 2-minute timer.
One thing that I'm realizing already actually is that I don't think I can really push down onto the sink, because the sink is kind of made out of fairly sturdy, but it's still plastic. So I want to make sure that I'm careful with that.
Siri, stop timer.
The Patterson tank, which is the container, the black container there with the red rim that you're seeing them now pouring water into to wash away the chemicals, is going to be the first of
Siri, start 1 minute timer.
1 minute long rinses, as I just said. So yeah, the Patterson tank is really cool because that's what contains the film and what lets the film be bathed in the necessary chemicals, but without light going in. So even if I remove the cover, light isn't going in because...
Siri, stop timer.
It's basically designed so that liquids can pour in, but light can't get through to the film. So it's a pretty cool device that lets me do this
Siri, start 1 minute timer.
in daylight. From what I've heard and seen, the C-41 color development process is way more standard than black and white development. The timings and everything is basically all preset. There's little room for interpretation. And another lab member is coming to get some prints that she had hanging up next to me.
Perdón, lo siento. No te preocupes, sin problema. Estás mirando aquí abajo en la cámara, entonces no te preocupes. No hay problema. Te han quedado muy bien las fotos, ¿eh? Ay, gracias. De nada.
And so we continue with the process, and I believe that is, yeah, still some more of the rinses there. I'm just speeding through this so that you can see, but each of those rinses, I believe 3 to 4 of them are 1 minute long. And now we go for the final step, which is the stabilizer, which is supposed to kind of like protect the film in the long term. So essentially the film is now developed. I could actually take off the top of the Patterson tank, but I prefer not to, just to keep things safe. So this is the last step, step 4, the stabilizer.
Siri, start 1 minute timer.
At least with these Bellini chemicals, there's other C-41 chemical types, such as I believe Cinestill does one where the bleach and the fixer are actually combined into one step called Bleach, but that's not the case here. And as you can see, all the chemicals except for the water need to be poured back because they can be reused. The stabilizer is foaming a little bit, which I hope isn't too much of an issue, but I cover it up as best as I can. And yeah, basically now it's time to open the Patterson tank and remove the film from its canister, or I guess the spindle. That's the white thing that you see there in the middle, that I'm just taking out now. So it's a little bit wet, and basically I disassemble the white spindle there that I had previously loaded the film into in complete darkness, just by feel. I did feel good about doing that this time. The first time I did it, the first and second times I did it during the workshop and right after, it felt a little bit dicey, but this time I felt pretty good. And there you saw the roll briefly. I'm kind of taking it over to the side there to clip and dry. And it was a half-frame Gold 200, Kodak Gold 200 film roll that's now off to the side there to dry, and then eventually scan, and maybe even, if there's some good photos, pull some prints using the photo enlarger. So yeah, who knows? Let's hope that the pictures turned out. I mean, on first inspection, there seemed to be something, so that's the first step. But I still have a lot of practice ahead of me.